Hey friends, it's school time. We're back to school. All the kids are back to school. That's what we're going to talk about today. Cuz high school, we went through it and it was super fun or whatever, I guess. But here we are and we're going to reflect on it so that we can share the good, the bad and the ugly of a school year with all of our listeners, hopefully tapping in on that nostalgia and teaching some of the youth the valuable life lessons. Let's all introduce ourselves. Everybody, give your first name, your last name, what grade you are in school, and your favorite ice cream flavor.
I'm Reggie, and I'm a senior, and my favorite ice cream flavor is delicious.
My name is David. I'm a junior, and my favorite ice cream flavor, let's say chocolate raspberry.
My name is Jake, and I'm a sophomore this year.
Nerd.
And my favorite ice cream flavor is Blue Moon.
Hi, my name is Katy May. I'm a freshman. I'm really excited to be here. My favorite ice cream flavor is pistachio.
That's a flavor.
Dude, pistachio ice cream is actually so fucking good.
There's
So is
pistachio ice cream?
Fucking, yeah, it's so good. It's
What?
really
Isn't it
sweet.
green?
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
green.
green.
Yeah,
Cool.
pistachios are green.
I like the flavor green.
I like the flavor green, too.
These types of introduction things happen every year in school, from when you're in kindergarten through your senior year, where it's like, obviously we all know each other, but we all have to play this game and say something about ourselves or whatever. Like, do you remember any of those that were like super weird, or any responses that were like, what the fuck?
I had a substitute teacher one time that was like kind of new. I think it was like 7th or 8th grade. They were calling attendance and like they got to my name and the kid behind me was just like, he goes by Raul. From like then on, that substitute teacher just called me Raul. I just never corrected them.
We had one when I was in high school who showed up and was like really hungover. Like they partied hard until like 4 and then got the call at 5. And then they were like, yeah, totally, I'll be there. And they like stacked up books in the science lab for like all of the freshmen and slept on it because it was just too hard to get through life.
I had a substitute teacher that was the bassist of a band I was in. So usually if he was hungover, I was there the night before when it was a shit show. But yeah, it's good times. It was never really a shit show. He was pretty together.
High school always starts with like this burst of excitement. Why did you guys choose the outfits that you chose?
I just wanted to look nice for my first day. My grandma got me this new book bag. We went to JCPenney's to go school shopping. So,
Are those pins in your pocket just touching the fabric?
yeah, it is. It's embarrassing. I forgot my protector, but I have a pen, but this one's my inhaler.
Do you need that
I-
like often?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
David, why
I-
are you do you even know that band?
I really like Joy Division. This is a kind of a cramped space, you guys.
Reggie, what do you think that your outfit says about you to all of your peers and teachers?
It says, fuck. Right there. I only have a year left. I'm just trying to see what I can get away with.
To the
Nice.
principal's office you go. That's like, oh, not allowed. You.
Oh, my God.
There's all kinds of clubs that we can sign up for. Like, there's like the drama club, there's robotics, there's band. What do you think you're going to sign up for this year?
I hate drama.
Yeah, drama was rough. Robotics would be rad. We didn't have robotics. So, band.
Can I make a Gundam?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, like,
Fucking robotics it is then.
Yeah. I mean,
Did
of course
your-
you can make a Gundam.
Making a Gundam.
Wait, did you actually have like a robotics class, Katie?
we had a robotics club. In
Oh, clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, band's not really a club unless you're in like Unless you're in like pops or something, band's not really a club.
Well, if you're in like jazz band or marching band.
No, that was a class. Like first hour was jazz band.
Oh, it was always before or after school for us.
Ours
That was our
0
like
hour.
Yeah.
that was our pops band, our rock band, and a couple of our choirs were after school.
I had like concert band, wind ensemble, and then there was like choir, and then like Spartaneers, which was basically show choir. And I think there was orchestra too.
We had 3 concert bands, marching band, I think like 4 or 5 choirs, strings, like 3 orchestras. We had this, it was a music school. There were a lot of people that we would win nationals often, and there was a lot of money invested in our music program. We have this thing called Singing Christmas Tree at this huge theater in Muskegon every year, and it's this massive, like, 4-story or 3-story or something Christmas tree that all of the students stand on layers of, dressed as sailors for some reason, and sing Christmas songs.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, look it up. I advise looking it up. It's very funny. People travel from all over the world to see this. It's really weird.
When you were in school, what kind of clubs or after school activities were there, and what did you all get involved in?
I feel like after school it was either like band practice or just hanging out with my friends and them playing Halo but not letting me play because I wasn't very good at it.
Oh my God. Kids are such assholes.
Yeah. They tried, man. In their defense, they tried so hard to teach me, and I just sucked. Just ruined their good time.
No, yeah, we would have band practice every day after school. That was pretty much from like freshman year to junior year or something. That was my after school activity.
I didn't really do much. I was pretty much not allowed to really do stuff.
Grounded all the time?
Pretty much.
Grounded all the time. Grounded all the time. Grounded all the time. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I participated in things in school, and there were like a million things that I could have gotten into outside of school, especially when I was living in the first high school that I went to, because they had like a whole bunch of sports and then a whole bunch of academic clubs and stuff too. But I was grounded all the time because I was not good at math.
Should we get her a tutor or just lock her in her room until she figures it out?
If you really think about it, it all adds up.
Where's
my drums?
I mostly just played guitar in my room.
I did that a lot, I think. Well, no, I mean, I did that a lot in middle school, definitely.
Oh, that too.
Yeah. I played a lot of shows in high school. That was my activities. Most weekends I was playing a show.
Me too.
High school, it's not like the funnest time, I don't think, but there are these little things that you can look forward to. Maybe we weren't the most involved children in high school. Maybe we didn't play.
Assume not.
Yeah, like I wasn't a football player, you know?
Did y'all play like sports when you were like younger, like elementary school younger?
Fucking
Yeah.
Little League.
Yeah.
I played the shit out of some Little League.
In obligatory sports at some point.
Yeah, soccer.
Baseball.
I was in soccer and baseball.
Basketball for like a long time.
Didn't you play in high school?
No. My high school was fucking awesome. They had built a new high school in 2004, and even though the auditorium wasn't as big for like our drama department, there was this architecture type of class where they would literally build a house inside of the school, and they had an auto tech lab that was in the school too.
Did they build a car inside the house?
They could have. They had the resources, but they also had like a really awesome music department that had like 7 different bands and 5 different choirs, and then art department. The coolest part, which kind of circles back to our last podcast, was that like they had an Olympic-sized lap pool for like the swim team and stuff, but then they also had a small water park with like a lazy river and a water slide.
What
the fuck?
I know my high school had a pool, but like I've never seen it.
See, we didn't have a pool. We just kind of captured another pool that we used most of the time.
I'm pretty sure we didn't actually have a pool at our high school. It was just like that scene in Hackers where they like, tell him about the pool on the roof, and then he goes on the roof and there's not a pool.
Who was all in band programs?
So I was in choir, but I wasn't like good at it. I was just there every year because my friends were there, so I did it. But I missed so much school because once I got my license, instead of riding the bus, I would drive my van down to the beach and just sleep instead of going to school for the first couple hours.
That's awesome.
So I missed so much school that I had to take a 0 hour. And the 0 hour that I was assigned was jazz band. I was not good at sight reading, so they eventually gave up on that. And the teacher just had me like sort fucking papers.
See, I remember I was in jazz band first hour. I kept just falling asleep while I was playing guitar, bass, or whatever he had me on that day. So he flipped out on me once, and then all of a sudden it was second hour next year, and it wasn't as much of a problem, but yeah, I feel like once I got my car was when I just kind of backed out of.
It's lunchtime. We're in our cafeterias. What does the cafeteria look like, and what's it serving today? You have to actually think of your high school. This isn't like what we wish high school was like, but
yeah.
I have 2 different cafeterias. When I moved, the cafeteria was a lot less awesome. Like they had converted to a healthy plan for like the students, and so there was like a sandwich line that you could go to, but then like the main line for the cafeteria was its own thing. Everybody flipped out over chicken poppers, but the rest of the shit sucked because when they decided to go to the healthy diet system, they still had all of this food left over that like wasn't bad yet, that was deep fried food, and they started to bake it. So everything was like really gross.
So our cafeteria was like next to where the auditorium was. And like the little doors to the auditorium are usually closed, but there's like the little alcove or whatever. But we called it the hole. That's usually where I'd eat lunch, in the hole.
In the hole.
Yeah.
To the hole with you.
Where's Reggie? Eating lunch in the hole.
The cafeteria is like, it's as typical as like cafeteria food. But I remember like salad being way cheaper than like getting pizza and fries and shit. So what I'd do is I'd get a tray when I put a pizza on there, and I put fries on there, and then I'd bury it under the salad. And then I just paid for the salad. I'd like dump most of that salad out and just pizza and fries.
Nice. Epic.
I'd also spend like 25-cent like fudge rounds or like Star Crunch or whatever, and just like spend multiple dollars on just that for lunch sometimes.
Fuck yeah.
Just Star Crunch and Mountain Dew, and that's lunch.
Oh, dude, yeah, Mountain Dew's dope.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
I ate in the cafeteria a little bit. For a little bit. I literally remember the breaded chicken sandwiches were really good. But there was like a Burger King a block away. So I went there, I think in my sophomore year, and asked out the cashier. Totally worked. We went on a date, and then I right away told her I was in high school, and that date ended immediately. But
Wait. The cashier at the Burger King or at the like lunch line?
At the Burger King.
Okay.
Yeah.
The lunch lady.
So the food, I feel like it's just your run of the mill. We had pizza and there's a salad bar and other stuff that I can't even remember. But there's also like the snack bar, and some days we had Bosco sticks. Or there might have always been Bosco sticks, but like everybody lost their fucking mind over Bosco sticks, including me. And so I'd get them like probably half the week. And as an adult, now I go to these gas stations and Bosco sticks are fucking everywhere. They're not a treat.
They're not good either.
No, they're not good. But like that's how bad everything else was, apparently, that we lost our fucking minds over these hard hot cheese sticks.
That's a
But every now and again we'd have a taco bar. And as taco bars go, it's probably the worst taco bar I've ever had in my life, but it's still a taco bar.
Did it like
Tacos are dope.
Did like everything available rotate or something? Because I feel like ours was like a whole bunch of consistent things, like constant same burgers, constant same pizza, same sandwiches, and then like occasionally there would also be Little Caesars pizza or like
There's like a guest star every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. I think we had like burgers and probably like chicken sandwiches and sometimes pizza, but like not much beyond that.
Like
Yeah.
Nothing that healthy that I can recall.
No.
what did your lunchroom look like? Like, what did all of them, like, were there windows leading into it? Was it like a lofted space where you could look into it from a different floor? Like, what was the aesthetic of everybody's lunchrooms in high school?
Ours was a room that was like, it was next to the gym. And obviously it's just a loud, hard services everywhere cafeteria. There was also like just an open outside area in the middle of the building. So it's like the gym is on this side, then there's the cafeteria, then there's this big square of outside that had a gazebo, and everybody would take the pickles from their burgers and throw it on the roof of the gazebo to see how long they could stay up there. And some of them were there like my entire high school career.
Yeah, that pickle's still there.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
There was like this big ass room. It was like near the gym, kind of like how Jake's was. But then there was like the smaller room where like, the lunch line and shit was. And then within that there was like an even smaller like closet sized room where like the chips and like the fucking Star Crunch and the fucking like Little Debbie shits were in.
Little Debbie shits.
Also, the cashier was in that, but there was also another cashier on like in the other part. But yeah, then there was also like this courtyard, like open spot next to that, which one time a deer was in there, and that was crazy. got to school in the morning, and like they're like, we're gonna need you guys to get out of the hall. Be like, what? Like, yeah, there was a deer in the building. I'm like, what?
Who let the deer in? Oh my god.
But it like somehow got into the building and then into the courtyard. I have no fucking clue how that happened, but
It was actually a student that turned into a deer.
yeah, it's like a weredeer. I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
David, what did your cafeteria look like?
It was like, I know it had like big windows and stuff, and it was kind of shaped weird, but it was one side emptied out into like a hallway in front of the athletic wing, maybe. I never really went to any of the gym classes in high school. I'm assuming there was like a couple gyms down there and probably some locker rooms.
I assume we had like 5 gyms. I've never been.
I heard there's one. I heard one of the gyms has a track like above it that goes around the outside or something.
I've heard.
There's a football field. I know there's one of those down that way. And we have a hockey team, so maybe there's ice. I don't know. The other side emptied out into one of the wings. It was all divided into wings. There was like an English wing and a computer wing, and then like English and government and social studies, and then
It's got more wings than an airport.
and they were connected by these these glass arch tube things that would like, it was like pods. I don't know. Our library, our auditorium was flanked by a glass lighthouse, and our library ceiling was shaped like the underside of a boat.
It seems
As far as those are the interesting things I can think of about the
very
architecture.
thematic. Okay.
They
so-
definitely used a boat to finish the construction of your high school.
Yeah, they're like, we're all out of materials, just go to the lake. So when I was living in Heartland, like if you went into the main entrance, then you would walk out into kind of a balcony area that overlooked into the cafeteria, which was like a really open floor plan and had big windows, so it was really light. And like the food that they served, like no joke, they had burgers and fries and pizza every day. They had Bosco sticks in a separate line with like Little Caesars every day. And then there was a school store where you could get like candy and freshly made cookies and stuff. And then they had vending machines like everywhere. Like they had Pepsi machines on every floor, like within like 25 feet of each other. Like when I got really hooked on Diet Mountain Dew was high school. And they also had like ice cream machines and like vending machines for like other little snacks and stuff. It was right next to the gym. So, there was like that type of messaging, like work hard, eat hard. But like there was an outdoor courtyard. And when my sister was in high school, they had open lunch period, like what David's talking about, where you could go to like Burger King and get food from somewhere else, but too many kids would just not come back, so they like shut that down and the courtyard became enclosed too. And like I guess that brings me to my next point. Like my school when I was living in Heartland was fucking huge. Like they had floors for the freshmen, sophomore, juniors and seniors, and then they had like all of the art stuff on like the complete opposite side of the school. And I would say that it was like almost impossible to get from choir to like your science class in the 5-minute passing period that you had. What were your passing times like?
Oh, I just wouldn't go back often. Like I would wander around for a while. I would like 15, 20 minutes usually over I would get there, I think. Sorry, I was in the bathroom. Or like there's a lot of things I forgot something in my locker. Oh, I didn't bring my instrument today. Yeah.
Taking a dump.
Sorry, I'm late. I had to rock a dump. I feel like we had like fucking 2 minutes between classes or something like that.
It was never enough time, so I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I want to say ours was like 5 to, might have been 10, but I think it was like 5. But our building wasn't that big.
Ours was like, it was big, but it wasn't like stories like Katie's was. It was just like all spread out, super ranch style with weird pods. So yeah, walking from one end, like if you're walking all the way from like the math and science wing down to like where the band stuff is, that takes a long time.
Yeah.
Like how based off of C-Lab was your high school? Jesus Christ.
Really, actually, yeah. Really, really, really based off of C-Lab.
What was your favorite class in high school?
I liked critical and analytical aspects of film. We just kind of watched whatever. It wasn't what you would typically see in like when I took college film classes and they just showed you like Sex, Lies, and Videotape and really like Spielberg like student films and stuff. It was more like we would watch Seven and we would watch Usual Suspects and we would watch like Godfather and stuff like that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was a good class.
That sounds fucking awesome.
You watched Seven in school?
Yeah, we learned about like a lot of interesting facts about that movie. It was good.
Probably just choir because my friends were there and I enjoyed myself, but man, I hated school. I was really bad at it. I enjoyed the social aspect and everything else just gave me the worst anxiety to the point now that like looking back on it, like I really can't remember very much because I just hated being in that environment.
I liked the social aspect of it. I understand that. Like I would always talk to whoever was seated next to me until I would get moved and then be excited because that's somebody new to talk to. And eventually you just cycle your way around and end up in school suspension.
Debate was pretty rad because like I got to just like I got a free pass to go down to the library and just dick around on the internet for an hour. Theater is probably my favorite though because like every year we had like the makeup unit. That shit's dope.
Dude, I forgot I even took theater. Theater was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I took it like usually once or twice a year, pretty much the whole time.
Y'all ever deliver any monologues in theater class? And if so, what were your favorite monologues?
The only one I actually like memorized was actually just a Charles Bukowski poem. I think it might have been like My Old Man or something like that.
I gave a monologue called Psycho. It was not from Psycho. We couldn't actually do any monologues that were already adapted into film for like this particular project. And the character in the story was male, but I changed it to be female because it was just creepier that way. And it was all about murdering my boyfriend in a car. It creeped a lot of people out, and that was one of the classes that I took like right when I moved, so I didn't have a lot of friends.
Our teacher allowed film or things that were adapted into films for some reason. So I did a speech, like the NVIDIA Films I Would speech from Clockwork Orange. I did the Christopher Walken Watching the Ass speech from Pulp Fiction. Yeah.
Awesome.
The only place you knew it was safe, his ass.
A lot of people did stuff from Breakfast Club. So, I mean, that movie has like shitloads of monologues. Like everyone has one at some point.
Well, since we're talking about like the drama class and stuff, let's just fast forward a little bit. Y'all were in bands and shit. Did you ever do a talent show?
Yes.
We won the Muskegon Battle of the Bands at some school that's in North Muskegon. What the hell was it? I had 2 girlfriends that went to that high school.
This is just like David's episode about how many girlfriends he's had.
No, I'm just trying to remember the name of this. Anyways, it was north of Muskegon, but in Muskegon. So we won one there, and then we played our high school's one, and we did not win. But yeah, played 2 Battle of the Bands at high school.
Jake, you looked like when I asked that question, it triggered something where you're like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. So please elaborate.
Yeah. There were like a couple of like Battle of the Bands competitions when I was in high school. And when you're in high school, you're just excited you get to play a show, right? I'd play those and have no expectation of winning or anything like that. And I never did in any of the bands I was in. But there was a talent show that at that point I had established in myself that I fucking hate competitive talent things like Battle of the Bands. I don't like talent shows. I'm not going to do it. Somehow I talked myself into doing it. And I was going to play like an acoustic, like slide blues thing. Because I was super into like 30s and 40s Delta blues and I was so fucking hip. I was playing like a Skip James song and I'm sitting on a chair and it's an acoustic guitar so I can't fucking move because I don't have a pickup and my slide in the very beginning just falls on the fucking stage floor and rolls slowly off the stage. And I improvised and I lost.
Aww.
It
was fucking jarring. I do not like that shit.
I remember the one we played at our high school was weird because it was like our singer thought that for some reason I walked into the room in the back and he was just sticking all these like flat metal tacks in his shoes. And I'm like, why are you doing that? And he was explaining to me that the slippier he was, the better the set would be. So he just went on stage just sliding all over the place with his feet.
He's just carving fucking trails on the stage. Oh my God. That's awesome.
I think we came in second.
I did a talent show every year. Like, there were 3 years where I went out and rocked it, and there was 1 year where I went out and like fucked shit up. And like when I was like a freshman, that band that I was in middle school kind of transferred over, and we got a new drummer, and we were called Superfine. And we decided that we were gonna play the talent show.
Is this the one that super sucked?
Super bad. Yeah. Like I can't even remember what we played. I think we played we played I Am a Revenant by the Distillers.
The Distillers. That
Yeah.
was my favorite, like my absolute favorite song for a while in
my
high
God.
school.
We seriously disgraced that song. And then we did something She's by the Lake or something by the Alkaline Trio.
Drag Her to the Lake?
Yeah, Drag Her to the Lake. We sucked. Nobody knew what we were playing. And I remember that when we got off stage, it was like our parents were the ones who were clapping. And then the whole auditorium was just quiet. Some seniors were hanging out and they were in a band called Metal Pizza. And they also sucked.
That's
and they were
such
like,
an awesome band name.
yeah, and they were just like a super hard metal band and stuff, but they were not very good. And when we came off stage, they were like, I can't believe you did that. You guys fucking rock. And that was like a very uplifting takeaway from that. My senior
Dude, hell
year,
yeah.
As long as Metal Pizza liked y'all, that's pretty good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You got friends in the biz.
they were solid dudes. And like in my senior year variety show, I did a Katy Needs a Life performance, just me and my ex-boyfriend, and we were wearing matching outfits.
You triggered a memory in me. It was middle school, not high school, but it was like end of the year middle school. We're staring down the barrel of high school. And it was like I put together a band specifically with the intention of like, at the end of the year, we're going to get to play the fucking talent show. It's going to be sick. And it was not sick. The other guitarist in the band like didn't have an amp, but my PV Bandit had 2 inputs. So we both used that. The drummer, I realized, like, his dad had a studio in his garage, so we're like, oh, he's gonna be great, and he was fine. We were kids, but like playing drums in middle school, I feel like is not. Anyway, none of us were very good. Is the point? We decided to do "When I Come Around" by Green Day and "No Cigar" by Millencolin.
Yeah.
Which, like, in middle school, like, the 4 of us were the only 4 motherfuckers that knew that song. So, like, we played that first. I think we played that first. And, you know, whenever people are watching, they have to watch. And then we played "When I Come," but, like, they didn't know it, I assume. So, like, they just figured maybe that's their song or whatever. Then we played "When I Come Around," and it pissed people off. And we walked back up into the bleachers afterwards, and some girl called me a song stealer. And I was furious. As if I was trying to pass off "When I Come Around" as a song that I had written.
We had this okay, so our middle school does this thing, a lock-in every year where they just lock everybody in all night and they stay the night at the school. And they decided to have bands play for some reason, and one of them in the auditorium, like, throughout the night. And we put together a band because we wanted to play this or whatever. I think we were in 8th grade. It was our last year of middle school. And we played like Enter Sandman. I didn't know any drummers. Chris, our singer, was like, I know this kid, he's really good. He's in 5th grade. I'm like, why are you like 5th grade? And he's like, yeah, but he drums for the church and he's like really good. So I'm like, hey, if you can play it. So we played Enter Sandman. We played like a cover of Stepping Stone by the Monkees. And I remember we were really excited about doing that because we had worked out like a weird version of it or something. And then the band before us, who were kind of jerks, covered Stepping Stone by the Monkees. And we're like, of all the songs that you could possibly play, this had to have been intentional. Like, so they also did some like version of the Star Spangled Banner, and I was just learning that from my guitar instructor. So like, I'll play that and maybe I can show them up because I was a jerk in middle school. So I tried to play that, and halfway through I just forgot and blanked out and then just walked away. So after I made a speech before I played it saying that the other band sucked. So
Dude, when I was in high school, we had like a straight up feud with another band. There were only like 3 fucking bands, and we had to play with each other. There's nobody else to play with. And we were like mad at them because they also played music, and they were mad at us because we also played music.
Yep, that Battle of the Bands that we played, the singer of one of the bands came up and pushed me over because he was just like mad that we were going to compete against him or something. I don't know what it was.
There are like these big events that happen every year in high school. Homecoming and like the big game and the dance that follows are like kind of big deals. Usually around that point, you're starting to form your little high school relationship and you're like excited about going to a dance together. What was it like for you guys? Jake, I have a feeling that you have at least one magical story about homecoming or something because, like, you are from South Haven, which is a beach town, which seems like what all of these California shows about high school are kind of like in Michigan.
Though there were certainly kids in high school that had more money, I think there were more that did not. And I was one of those. However, as far as like dances and big events and stuff, I was just not really that interested. I wanted to do whatever my friends were doing, and they weren't interested in that. And for the majority of high school, I was dating a girl who was in college. So, like, none of the romantic nice things about high school. Well, not a lot of them anyway, applied to my time there. But there was one dance, and I think it was when I was a junior. It's like whatever the big end of the year dance was.
Prom.
We didn't buy Yeah, probably. We didn't buy tickets ahead of time because we were just like, oh, fuck that. I'm not going to make plans and spend money to do it. Fuck that. However, the night of, there's like my group of friends, and then everybody else. We were hanging out at one of our friends' houses, and we decided, fuck it, we want to go. Let's just go. And his mom had a bunch of like really cool old like clothes from the 70s, like dress clothes that like, fit us to some degree. So we all got dressed up in these fucking super gnarly clothes, went there, and then the principal like stopped us at the door, and he was like, you guys cannot come in here, you didn't get tickets. And it was super embarrassing because the whole like building where it was happening was just glass, so everybody watched it happen. And then my senior year, I went to prom with Maureen of Mushmen fame, and we had a blast.
I feel like I regret not going to prom or any prom. I went to one homecoming, and I think that was the only thing I ever went to, but definitely, yeah. I would have liked, I hear it's always terrible, but I would have liked to see how terrible.
My senior prom is like the only thing I went to. I ended up just talking to the DJ most of the time because like he had like all sorts of fucking like Cannibal Corpse and like a bunch of death metal and stuff. So I was just like talking to this dude about metal most of the time.
I can understand a DJ having those kind of tastes. I don't understand having them with him.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was at. I was like, well, why did you bring him if you're not gonna play him? Like I remember just trying to get him to play like Cannibal Corpse,
so
just
weird.
like
Unless
at
they're
one.
just mixed together like ABBA and then like Cannibal Corpse and then B-52s.
Just sneak like Hammer Smash.
That sounds awesome.
Just sneak a little Hammer Smashed face into Dancing Queen. Like he'll be fine.
Imagine if the cases got mixed up, The possibilities.
Oh, shit, I didn't think about that. Okay, time machine. If I could go back in time to high school for one thing, I'd switch like some popular-ass thing he hadn't played yet that night that was popular then with Cannibal Corpse.
And get that guy fired.
Oops.
I went to like a lot of dances. For some reason, it was really important to my mom that I go to all of the dances. So I went to like homecoming and I went to prom every year. And like prom is for juniors and seniors. So when I was asked to go by a senior my freshman year, my mom was like, okay, you have to break up with your boyfriend because like the senior asked you to go to prom. The proms, like in Heartland, they would rent out this ballroom called Crystal Gardens, and it was okay. You had to, like, they provided dinner and stuff. But when I moved to Lowell, they got the Van Andel Museum 2 years, and that was really cool because the dance floor was set up underneath the whale carcass or whale skeleton thing. And then the giant carousel was open all night, which was really fun. And then one year it was at the Meyer Gardens.
You sound a lot more magical than I'm not exactly sure what ours were like, but I don't imagine they were that magical.
Yeah. I don't think
A chocolate fountain in Meyer Gardens. Yeah.
No.
High school is really hard. I feel like there's so many things that are changing in your life. There are like all of these hormones that are really setting in because you're like really in puberty. You're like going through all of these weird growth spurts and your like face is starting to get acne all over it. You're starting to get feels for other people around. I mean, like, it's like the most dramatic time ever, and tensions can be real high at home and stuff. I guess, what did you do to unwind after school?
Sleep. I'd just come home and sleep, man. And then I'd stay up way too late and get no sleep before I had to go back to school and have a shitty day at school all day and go back to sleep once I got home.
When you were staying up so late, what the fuck were you doing? It's like you weren't doing homework.
No, for sure not. Watching TV. It's just watching like Conan.
Yeah, when I was like, I used to stay up and watch. Well, when I was a kid, like younger than high school, I remember I would wake up in the middle of the night a lot and go out and watch like MTV oddities and like early MTV animation. But in high school, I would usually go out after school and then come home for a minute for dinner and then go out again and come home way too late. Usually.
Hey guys, not to sidetrack us here, but I saw my big cousin this weekend. He came over and we were riding bikes, and he brought a beer.
What?
So now I have a beer. My cousin.
Are you gonna drink it?
I think I'm gonna. Do you guys think I should?
No, dude. I don't think you should. Are you kidding me?
I just want to know what it tastes like.
Don't you know that alcohol is a gateway drug?
He brought over this beer, and he also brought his Zune.
What?
So I think I'm gonna get drunk and Zune out.
But what's it a gateway to? If it's a gateway drug, dude, is it open the gates of hell?
There's only one way to find out, man.
No, dude. Next thing you know, you'll be like doing smack.
No, you're not supposed to smack people. It's rude.
I'm gonna lay the smack down like The Rock. You guys ready?
No.
I'm gonna do it.
No. Jake.
Do it.
It's delicious.
You're
Are you
wasted.
Are you addicted to drugs now?
I think
Forever
I am.
hopelessly addicted to drugs?
I think I am.
I just want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. I hope that we gave you all an entertaining look into our pasts and what high school was like for all of us. And maybe, just maybe, it related to some of you, or maybe you're in high school and you stumbled upon this for some weird reason and you're listening to a bunch of 30-somethings talk about like life 12 years ago. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We're going to leave you with something before we go, a little unsolicited advice. But this week, I want us all to give advice like we're high schoolers to incoming freshmen.
Don't eat the gum under the table.
My advice is it's more just a piece of information. There's nothing stopping you from spending all of your lunch money on cookies. They won't stop you. They don't care. Just do it. If that's what you want to do, do it. The cafeteria is a fucking lawless wasteland. Enjoy your cookies.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. Things can get hard, and it is okay.
That's
Oh, that was
so
nice.
cute. Yeah, wow. Who knew?
Nice and legitimately helpful.
Yeah.
And it made me mad.
Here's my advice, kiddos. And it's the same every week. Be rad. Stay cool. And always do the right thing. Leave us some comments if you want to know more about our high school experiences, and maybe we'll talk more about it if it's not too dramatic and personal.
Smash that subscribe.
Smash that subscribe.
Have a good night, or a good week, or
Bye.
a good life, or whatever. Bye.
Bye.